Hi guys, and welcome back to another video game with the powers. I'm Jake, and today we are going to be bringing you another video in our Marvel Dice Throne Missions campaign series, where we are taking on, or we got the task of perfecting every single mission that is coming in this brand new expansion for the dice checker game known as Dice Throne. All right guys, if you've been following along so far, I will go ahead and link our most recent video up in the top corner here, where we took on the mission Magia, which is all about Kingpin and his goons, and I played Cyclops in that one. Today's video, we are taking on the mission called Vibranium Wars, which is all about defeating the Klaw, and I will be playing as the one, the only Deadpool, all right? So if you guys want a nice laugh, there's gonna be a bunch of finger guns, a bunch of pew-pews, and a bunch of funny automatopoeias that I'm gonna have to say when playing Deadpool. So definitely check out for this if you guys want to have a good laugh. All right, guys, let's go ahead and jump down to the table where we got everything set up, ready to go. All right, guys, so we're down here at the table where we have everything set up for our mission today called the Vibranium Wars. As always, before we dive into this mission, I want you guys to take a look at our progress tracker here. So you can see we had just cleared the Magia missions. We have defeated 3 missions in difficulty 2. We have 2 more missions left, Vibranium Wars and the UN Catastrophe, that we are trying to clear. So we gained 3 perk points for that. I went ahead and put perk points into our gain 1 CP, I believe, and then 1 left over in this feats. Now, this is something I haven't talked about. If you manage to fill in 3 of these, you can slide, excuse me, you can slide this perk point sheet under your player board, and you'll put a token here, and you can spend that token to do its ability, which would be roll 1 dice and add the value to your attack damage. But here is our perk point sheet. Again, here is our campaign progress. So let's go ahead and dive in and get ready to knock this one out. So as always, guys, taking a look at our setup, we got 45 health, 2 CP, we got our 4 cards, we got 3 allies face up. Let's take a look at them. Havoc here is going to be 3 momentum. Whenever you recruit him, gain 2 shields. Once per round during your main phase, exhaust him to deal 2 collateral damage to all opponents. Okay, I believe we've seen all of these allies before. We got Colossus, all right, 2 momentum. During your defensive roll phase, a defensive kicker once per round when you activate a defensive ability. If your dice show 2 of a kind symbol, prevent do damage. I can exhaust him during that to prevent 6 additional damage as well. And last but not least, we have Nightcrawler for 1 momentum. He is a promo card, so I can recruit him to gain a shield once per round during your main phase, spend 2 momentum to take an additional move on the board, then deal 2 collateral damage to an enemy within melee range. I can exhaust him during that to gain a shield as well. So those are our 3 allies that we got face up on the board here. And let me scoot these guys over a little bit just so we make sure we got a clear picture of them on the board. All right, we got our enemy dice pool here, 2 red and 2 black dice. We got our pawn. We actually have the Deadpool miniature here. Guys can take a look at him. Came in his little exclusive box. And we also have acrylic tokens for Mr. Deadpool as well, part of that special upgrade for backing the Kickstarter stretch goals there. All right, let's take a look at our crisis clock. So we are gonna go 3. So 1, 2, and 3. Alrighty, let's do our mission run setup. Well, actually, mission run setup here. So we are taking a look at the mission Vibranium Wars. So Shuri has detected a violent incursion into Wakandan borders. You rush to investigate and find mercenaries raiding a Vibranium warehouse. Stop them before they get away. Additional setup, place a plot token on the start space of the escape track, which I have done over here. Our main objective, no hero may move through the exit until all rocket mercs have escaped or been defeated. Then move all heroes through the exit or defeat all henchmen. Upon completion, we will gain those rewards, and then our perfect reward is that no enemies have escaped. We got a tip here that says some of the enemy attacks affect the escape track. Remember to resolve that effect for each hero targeted. All right. Taking a look at our escape track over here, guys. So what this escape track is going to say is we cannot let the crooks get away with this. Our goal is to defeat the rocket mercs before they escape with ingots of vibranium. So certain enemy abilities will progress the plot track along the escape track. Each time the token moves onto a red space and the matching rocket merc has any health remaining, they escape with their vibranium. Place a clear tile on them. They count as an empty space you can move through and will no longer contribute to the crisis clock effects. Defeating. Each time a rocket merc is defeated, the star player chooses a hero to draw one card, in addition to the 2 momentum distributed for defeating a henchman. The failure penalty is each time a rocket merc escapes, all heroes discard 1 card. So here is our track over here that you guys will be able to see for them to escape. And let's go ahead and take a look at our henchmen that we're going to be dealing with. There's only 2 henchmen, our rocket mercs here. So we have A, B, C, and D. They have 12 health. On a triple orange, they're going to multi-strike, melee range, deal 7 defendable damage. Their crisis ability, gain flight, deal 1 collateral damage to all heroes, and then roll a dice, and that will count towards the escape track if they get that symbol. The next one is our shock troops. So 2 orange in a swirly. These guys right here and here have 15 health and 1 shield. They are a multi-strike range, deal 3 defendable damage. They will roll 1 dice on an orange plus 1 to the escape track. And their crisis ability is to inflict focus fire and deal 2 collateral damage to all heroes. Last but not least, our unstoppable threat called air support over here. Range, deal 3 undefendable damage, roll 1 dice on a orange plus 1 on the escape track. This enemy cannot be damaged in any way or inflicted with status effects. So that is our mission setup. We got our boost tiles all around here, and now it's time to apply our perks. So I gotta go in order here. So we get +1 health for having our grit. A chosen enemy can gain the focus fire, and this one is gonna be critical. If I can find the focus fire, I got it right here. Okay. I'm going to hold off on this one for now until I look at the board and see what I want to do. We gain 1 momentum at the start. All right, that's perfect. Chosen, we actually get a +3 damage token. So we'll slide that +3 damage token over there. And then we get 1 more additional CP for all of our applied perks. Okay, guys. Last but not least, let's take a look at our wonderful character today, Mr. Deadpool, and show you what he can do and what he is all about. So, taking a look at our first ability, Finger Guns. Deal 6 or 7 damage, defendable damage. If you say pew pew while pointing finger guns in the air, gain 1 CP. All right, next to that one, Donut Hole. Draw 1 card, gain a donut, and deal 4 pure damage. Down below, we got Knife Fight. So gain Rock, Paper, Scissors and Automatopoeia, and then deal 3 pure damage. Who brings Rock, Paper, Scissors to a knife fight? And I'll read all these funny little quotes for the rest of them. Besmirched. Does it feel smirchy in here? Deal 6 defendable damage, roll 2 dice. On finger guns, add 2 damage. On a knife, add 3 damage. On whatever that symbol is, a joke, gain Automatopoeia. And on a mask, gain Rock, Paper, Scissors. His ultimate, the 4th wall, gain a positive status effect from a different chosen player's leaflet or gain donut. If your shoot card is inactive, flip it back to its active side, deal 14 damage. You can mess with my dice to stop my ultimate, otherwise, no you may not. Insert your whitey complaint here. Just shut up and lower your health dial. Taco Truck. This is going to be our small straight, now serving Legua. All right, deal 8 defendable damage. If you use a 1 or a 6 in this straight, you may shout Taco Tuesday to add 1 defendable damage. Merc with a mouth, washed out with soap. Gain donut, rock, paper, scissors, automatopoeia, then deal 6 undefendable damage. Fiesta, where is my sombrero? Gain rock, paper, scissors, and donut. Deal 8 defendable damage. If you use a 6 in this straight, add +1 damage. Do not invite Logan. He ruins everything. Last but not least, we have Mutant Healing, better than Wolverine's. 4 defendable dice. I heal 1 automatically, deal 1 damage for each knife, and on a joke, I gain Automatopoeia. So those are his abilities that we are going to be doing there. And last but not least, we have his leaflet right here. So he has 3 status effects: donut, automatopoeia, and RPS, which is rock, paper, scissors. So our donut here has got a stack limit of 2. If you guys can see that. All right, a player with this token may spend it during their upkeep phase and roll 1 dice. Gain half the value as health, rounded up. Alrighty. Automatopoeia. So during your roll phase, you may spend this token to change one of your dice to a knife or a joke, but only if you say a cool or funny automatopoeia while doing so. This token may not be transferred by any means. So I got ChatGPT pulled up, guys, with some automatopoeias, some funny automatopoeias. So we'll see what they get. And rock, paper, scissors. So a player with this token may spend it when attacking or being attacked. Once spent, choose an opponent to play rock, paper, scissors against. If you win, gain the benefit listed below. If you tie, play again. If I'm being attacked, I can prevent 2 damage, and while attacking, I can add 2 damage. If my shoot card is active, add 3 damage instead. All right, here are my dice. So I got 3 pews, 1 knife, 1 joke, and 1 mask. Last but not least, guys, there is a solo mechanic with Mr. Deadpool here. So I do have my shoot card. So this will start face up. So if I lose a game of rock, paper, scissors, I can flip this card over to win that round of rock, paper, scissors. And then that's what it would look like on the opposite side. If this is visible, your RPS only adds 2 damage instead of 3. Alrighty. And then here is the mechanic. He's got 3 cards of rock, paper, scissors. So I'll shuffle these up and draw one when it's time to play that. But that is everything, guys. So I think we are ready to jump in and get this thing crack-a-lackin'. So I do need to find where this target wants to go. Now, do I want to... So I could bust this guy down, but I don't know if I have much wiggle room. But I am going to need to spend momentum in order to range him. So it might really just be best to try and take this guy out as quickly as possible. So I'm going to put the focus fire on him. My first thing I'm going to do is move to this spot and transfer 1 status effect token or gain 2 momentum, which I will choose to gain 2 momentum, bringing me up to 3. All right. Now we would go into our upkeep phase. So I gain 1 CP and draw a card, and let's see what we got here. Ooh, I love to see that. Right away, we got double up. We got Fiesta Dose. All right, so this is gonna upgrade my large straight and give me a new ability called Baker's Dozen. All right, Rochambeau. Gain rock, paper, scissors right away. I love to see that. He Who Smelt It. Attack modifier. All right, I like to see that one. And Twice as Wild. Ooh, love to see that. Okay, right away, I think what we're gonna do is play our double up for 1 CP. So let me go back down to 3. Let's draw 2 cards. Card number 1, we got Besmirched Dose and Fallback Ability. All right, and next we got Finger Guns Dose. All right, with a question mark, question mark, question mark. All right, so a lot of upgrades here. And this one is actually for free. So 0 ZP, we're gonna play this right away and upgrade our Finger Guns to Finger Guns Dose. Besmirched is 2 CP. Fiesta Dose is 2 CP. I got 3 CP, so let me see. Deal 6 damage, roll 3 dice. That's 6 undefendable. That's a large straight. I think I'm gonna do Besmirched Dose and drop that here for 2 CP. So 1 and 2. And then I'm gonna keep everything else and let's go ahead and roll some dice, all right? Let's see what we get. I do like this Besmirched. Let me see if we can get this Besmirched. If not, seal 6 undefendable damage. Okay, so we do have a pew. We have a knife. Okay, we do have, well, actually we got taco truck as well. So 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, let's see if I can roll this and get a 6. That's another 4. Let's try one more time, and that's another 5. Okay, so 2, 3, 4, 5. We do have Taco Truck. If you have a 1 or a 6 in this, add 1 additional damage. I do not, but I will spend this +3 token to make that 11. So technically with this guy, this +3 and his shield is basically gonna cancel each other out. So I'll go ahead and take care of that really quickly. And then we are dealing 8, but he has Focus Fire, so he will take 1 more additional damage for 9, okay? So he's got 15, I gotta do math. He should have 6 left over, if I'm not mistaken. So that'll drop him down to 6 health, okay? That will be the conclusion of my offensive roll phase. let me take a look at my second main phase. Ooh, actually, I should have done this. Let me go back. So 1 CP to play He Who Smelt This. So roll 4 dice, add 1 damage for every pew. Play this card with your Dealt It card to gain 1 CP. We're not gonna play it with my Dealt It, but let me just roll 4 dice real quick. And we got a 2, so let me spend my 1 CP. And he is going to take 2 more additional damage. Yep, 1 for that. So he's really gonna be down to 4. So let's go, let me grab this. So he's down to 4. All right, and I do have 3 momentum here. So before I finally end my main phase, I wanna recruit one of these heroes. So, ooh, I could gain Havoc here. That might be useful. 2 damage to everybody if I really need it. He's gonna make me spend momentum. He might be useful though, but unless I defeat him, I'm not gonna be able to get more momentum. Let's go with Havoc. So let's spend all 3 of my momentum to recruit Havoc. As soon as I recruit Havoc, I get +2 shields. All right. And I think that's everything we're gonna do. Let's gain, ooh, Beast. I don't think we've seen Beast before. So 2 momentum. Once per round during your main phase, spend 1 CP, or spend 1 momentum, gain 2 CP, exhaust him to gain 2 shields, and draw 1 card. All right, so that is the conclusion of all of my phases and everything I want to do. So now we need to go to our henchman phase. Woof, all right. So we got triple orange. So our rocket mercs multi-strike melee deal 7 damage. Okay, they are melee range. I am not in melee range of any of them right now, so that's really, really good. So they are not going to do anything. Air support doesn't go, shock troops don't go, I luck out. And we are going to go to the crisis clock. So crisis clock, lose 1 CP. I have 0, so thankfully that does not impact me. And then now we go back up top to my movement phase. I think I'm going to go here. All right, we are going to gain 1 momentum for doing that. All righty, go into my upkeep phase, so gain 1 CP. We're going to draw 1 card, and we have what's a Matapia? So gain Automatopoeia. All righty, so I can gain Automatopoeia. I can gain an RPS. I got 3 CP. Ooh. I think what I might just do is hold on to everything and go straight into my offensive roll phase and trying to take this guy out. So let's roll some dice here. Whoa, so I got finger guns. So 4 finger guns gets me 6 defendable damage. I can gain 1 CP for doing that. Or we can see what else we get. Let me keep a 4 and a 3. And roll everything else and see. Ooh, 6/5. And we actually have besmirched dose right here. So we need a pew, we need a knife, we need a joke, and we need a mask for besmirched mode. So 6 defendable damage, and then we are gonna roll 3 dice, and let's see what we get. So on a pew, I add 2 more damage. On a joke, I gain Automatopoeia. All right, so we will gain a Automatopoeia there. All right, so 6, 7, 8, 9 defendable damage is coming to him. He's got 4, so he will go ahead and get knocked out. This focus fire will be gone. All right, we are gonna hit this. So I gain 2 momentum, bringing me up to 3. Because of the escape track here, I also get to draw 1 card. So we have what status effect. Alrighty. And that is going to be the conclusion of my offensive roll phase. Okay, we are going to go into my secondary main phase here. I think what I'll do is sell what status effect here to gain 1 CP, bringing me up to 2. And I got 3 right now. So you know what I might actually do? Once per round during your main phase, exhaust him to deal 2 collateral damage to all opponents. So I will exhaust Havoc to deal 2 collateral damage to everybody. So 2, 2, 2. So all those are gone. Okay. He's 1 more, and then he's taken 2. And so he's going down to 3. Let me grab that. So he's down to 13. Alrighty, so that was my main phase. And then I'm gonna recruit somebody. I think what we're gonna do is spend 1 to recruit Nightcrawler. All right, Nightcrawler, when I recruit him, I get to gain a shield. Alrighty, we'll gain a shield. So I got 3 shields. And we're gonna drop him in there, and let's see who else we get. War Machine. Ooh, so 3 momentum once per round during your roll phase. Offensive kicker. If you are attacking, roll 1 dice, add half the value as damage. On a 5 or a 6, you must plus exhaust. And when I do that, I add 3 damage right there. Sorry, my camera is bugging. My camera's bugging out. Sorry, guys, if it's certain aspects of this video have been blurry. I just now realized that. But lock him back in. So once per round during your main phase, I could activate him, but I don't think I'm going to activate him just quite yet. And I'm not really sure if I could activate and then recruit and then activate again, because it says once per round, I would imagine. So even they go with that. So that's the conclusion of my secondary main phase. Let's go ahead and go into our henchman phase here. So we have this. Okay, so rocket mercs don't go, shock troops will. Thankfully, I eliminated 1 already. So multi-strike range, deal 3 defendable damage, and he is going to roll 1 dice. And on that dice, if we get an orange, we progress up 1 on the escape track. So 3 defendable damage coming my way. Even though he is ranged, I am right next to him, so I can still activate my defensive ability. Normally, you'd have to spend 1 if you are far away from that. So we get 4 defense. So I heal 1 immediately. So I'll go ahead and just heal up to 47. I deal 1 damage for every knife. And then on that, I would gain Automatopoeia. So I gain the other Automatopoeia, and that's it. So I deal 1 damage back to him. And so he's gonna go down to 2. And then I need to get this. So he's going down to 2. And then I am taking 3 damage, 1, 2, and 3, down to 44. Okay. That is the conclusion of them. Air support does not go. So we are going to go to the crisis clock phase. Our shock troops are going to activate. They are going to inflict focus fire on me and then deal 2 collateral damage to all heroes. So 1 and 2. And I don't think I get focus fired here because focus fired is only when you are attacking. So let me confirm here. Let me get my little sheet out for focus fire. I don't see, focus fire. When a player with this token is attacked by an opponent. So technically, this crisis ability is not considered an attack, so I don't add focus fire damage. So that is the conclusion of that, and that is the end of the second round here. All right. I'm moving right over here to this spot. We are taking this number A guy out. So I will gain 2 CP right away. All right, we're gonna move into my main phase. So 1 CP and 1 card. Do you feel lucky? All right, 1 CP, choose an opponent. They hope to roll a 6, but may change this number if they desire. Then they roll 1 dice. If the die value matches their number, they heal 3. Otherwise, they receive 3 damage. All right. Interesting how that one's gonna play out. Let's see. Automatopoeia lets me spend this token and change one of my die to a 5 or a 6. Okay, I think I am twice as wild. I'm gonna spend 2 CP to upgrade Fiesta Dos. So we'll upgrade that, spending 2 CP. And we're gonna leave that at 3 for now. And we are gonna roll some dice. All right, we're gonna roll some dice. Ooh. So we got a 6, a 5, 6, 5. Ooh. Let me keep the 2. And actually, let me re-roll both of these and see what I can get. I get another 6. Ooh. Let me roll one last time, see if I can get a 3. And I do get a 3. Wow. Okay, this is gonna be awesome. So I got a 6, 5. I will spend one of my automatopoeias. All right, guys, I gotta come up with a funny automatopoeia. We're gonna go over to ChatGPT and we have skadoink, the awkward bounce of someone falling off a trampoline. All right, it's a funny automatopoeia via ChatGPT. I would spend that to convert this to a knife. Change one of your dice to a knife or a joke, and we have 6, 5, 4, 3, 2 for Fiesta Dos. So I gain a rock, paper, scissors. I gain a wonderful donut here. And I'm dealing 10 defendable damage, which is gonna knock this bad boy out right away. So knock him out, gain 2 momentum here. 1, 2, bringing me up to 4. And I get to draw a card. Getting paid, gain 2 CP right away. I love it. I love it, guys. Okay. That is the conclusion of my offensive role phase. I think what we're gonna do here, moving into my secondary main phase. First thing I'm gonna do is spend one of these donuts here. So a player with this token may spend it during their upkeep phase and roll 1 dice, gain half the value rounded up. So I would gain 2 health, bringing me up to 44. All right, I'm gonna activate Nightcrawler here. So once per round during my main phase, spend 2 momentum. So 1, 2. I can take an additional move on the board, then deal 2 collateral damage to an enemy within melee range. So I will move. Ooh, this is gonna be interesting. I'm gonna move here and pick up this 1 so I can draw 1 more additional card. Ooh, I love to see that. Mutant Healing Dose, all right? Mutant Healing Dose, and deal 2 collateral damage to this guy right here, putting him at 8. Bring him down to 8. Okay, so that was Nightcrawler. We got a bunch of cards here that I want to get through. All right, so getting paid right away is gonna give me 2 straight up CP. And what I'll do is just spend this for 3 CP. So I'm not even gonna bother giving me my, so I'll gain 2 and then spend 3, bringing me down to 2. And let you guys take a look at that upgraded defense again. So heal for 2 on a knife, deal 1, gain 1 automatopoeia per joke. Okay, and lets me still roll 4 dice. So we are still here in our offensive roll phase. I feel like I can gain automatopoeia pretty well, but I'll just hold on to all these cards for right now. Okay, so that's going to be the conclusion of my offensive role phase, or actually my secondary main phase. Let's go to our wonderful henchman phase. Okay, so we have this right here. So mercs are going to activate first. I am adjacent to 1 merc. So he is going to multi-strike, deal 7 defendable damage. So let me roll for defense for this. All right, so that does nothing. 6s do nothing. So he is going to, so I'll heal for 2 straight up. Let me do that first. So 46. He is going to take 1 damage, bringing him down to 7. All I need to do is flip that over. And then he is going to deal 7 defendable damage to me. 8 actually because of focus fire. So I'll spend 2 shield tokens right here for that. So I will only take 2 damage, bringing me down to 44. All right, so that was that merc. I'm not adjacent to any other rocket mercs. And then last but not least, we have our air support. So 3 undefendable damage, bringing me down to 41. All right, and then we need to roll one of these, and on an orange, +1 on the escape track, which I luck out, no escape track. Okay, next thing, we got the crisis clock right there moving, and now we're back up top to the movement phase. Interesting. So I still feel like I got a lot of time for B. So maybe I just stay where I'm at and take on C, which I think I might do. You know what? I might just stay here, not move at all. Let's proceed into my main phase. So we'll increase CP by 1 and gain a die for So Wild. Okay, ooh, I might stack up to where I can one-shot that guy, and that would make my life very easy. So I'm at 3 CP. I already have rock, paper, scissors. I have 1 automatopoeia. Let's hold on to Do You Feel Lucky? And I got Nightcrawler. Let's keep everything like the way I have it right now and just roll some dice and see where we're at. Okay. Interesting. So he's got 7. So I need to deal at least 7. So really all I need is a 6. So let's keep a 2. Let's keep a 2. Let's keep a 4. And let's keep a 5. And let's re-roll both of these. And we both got 6s. Look at that, double 6s. We will go pew, knife, joke, and mask. So deal 6 defendable damage and roll 3 dice. All right, 6 defendable damage, roll 3 dice. All right, on a pew, we are adding 2 more damage. On a mask, we are gaining rock, paper, scissors, but I already have a rock, paper, scissors, and I don't want to spend this to add any more. So I would be dealing 8 defendable damage to him, which would knock him out. So he is knocked out. Put a marker over him. Let me grab 2 momentum. So 1, 2. And then I also get to draw a card for that, which is triple up. All right, triple up. Love to see it. So that's going to be the conclusion of my offensive roll phase. Put these dice over here. We would go into my secondary main phase. And now is where I want to activate Nightcrawler again. So 1, 2 to activate Nightcrawler. I may move, and I'm going to move right here to this spot. I will gain 1 momentum for doing that. So gain 1 momentum, bringing me up to 3. All right. I deal 2 collateral damage to an enemy within melee range. So 2 collateral damage to this shock trooper right here. And I will exhaust Nightcrawler during this action to gain a shield. All right. I will exhaust Nightcrawler during this action to gain a shield. So now I got 2 shields, focus fire, that and that. Okay. I'm still going to stay in my main phase here, and I think what we're going to do is grab War Machine for 3. So 1, 2, 3. Grab War Machine right here. So offensive kicker, roll a dice, add half the value as damage rounded up. Alrighty, let's see. New character, Domino. All right, so 2 momentum. Once per round during your roll phase, spend momentum, reroll up to 2 of your dice. Exhaust, gain shield, reroll up to 4 of your dice instead. Okay. End of my secondary main phase. Let's roll some dice for the henchmen. Okay, so first off, our mercs will activate. Okay, so mercs are going to activate. I'll just put these together so I know. So mercs are going to activate first. I am adjacent to 1 merc, so we are doing melee 7 defendable damage. I will roll 4 dice right here. And what am I going to do? So 1 damage per knife. Okay, so that's 2 damage. Pews do nothing and masks do nothing. Okay, so 2 damage back to him, which is going to drop him down to 8. Alrighty. And then I am taking 7. I'm taking 8 actually. Actually, I should heal 2 first, but I'm going to actually prevent that as damage. So I would originally take 8 because of focus fire. I would heal for 2, so now it's down to 6. And I think what I'm gonna do is spend both of my shields here. Spend both of my shields to negate 6 of that damage. So in reality, I'm taking 0, all right? So that was that Merc. This Merc does not activate because they're melee, okay? Crisis ability is when he rolls. The shock troops are now going to activate. So he is ranged, deal 3 defendable damage, all right? But I am melee range, so I will get to roll some dice. Ooh, look at that. So 3 damage is coming back to him. So this is going to take him down to 7. All right, take him down to 7. And I am getting 3 damage. I will heal for 2. So I'm just going to use that and only take 1 in return. And then we need to roll for that, and we will go up 1 spot on the escape track, okay? Unstoppable Threat does not activate, so that is the full conclusion of our, henchman phase. Move to the crisis clock. We will move here. Their crisis ability is going to activate, so gain flight. All right, so this guy gains a flight. This guy gains a flight. Deal 1 collateral damage to all heroes. So 2 collateral damage comes to me, bringing me down to 38. And then we are going to roll 2 dice for them. And on that, it moves up twice. Wow, 1, 2. Ooh. All right, I better find a way to get to this B guy quickly because he's got that flight, which is going to allow him to heal. Ooh, that is not good. Okay, that is the full conclusion of our henchman phase. So I get to go to the movement phase. I'll just stay where I'm at. All right, I will stay where I'm at. And I will go into my main phase. So 1 CP, draw a card. Not this time. Player prevents 6 defendable damage. Okay. I got a lot of stuff. Rock, paper, scissors, automatopoeia, triple up. Let's play triple up. So 2 CP to draw 3 cards. So 1, 2. Let's see what we get. We get knife fight dose. Ooh, I like that. We get finger gun reload. If your shoot is inactive, flip it back to the active side. And then we have 1 more time. Okay, I'm gonna need to sell some of these cards here. Let's go. Wow, 11 undefendable damage for Stabby. That is crazy. Okay. 1 more time. We can sell that for 1 CP, bringing me up to 3. Let's go gain rock, paper, scissors. I need to spend rock, paper, scissors. Let's go. I don't know if I really want knife fight. Maybe. Let's spend 2 CP. Oh, actually, no, I want to keep my CP because I should have one-shotted that guy last time. I forgot about that. That was going to be my play. Okay, let's go. Man. Rock, paper, scissors. Let's spend 1 CP and gain an automatopoeia. Well, actually, no, I want to try and one-shot this guy with my ultimate, even though it's going to be overkill. But it's better to get rid of that because I can't take any more damage with that. Okay, so let's go finger guns. Really don't care about. So let's get rid of that for 4. Let's keep this. I need 5. Gain automatopoeia. Let's get rid of that for 5. Okay, we got 5 CP. And we got cards ready to rock. Okay, let's go into my offensive roll phase. Let's do some things here. So really, I need 10 damage. Find a way to get 10 damage. We got 1 6. Do we have that straight up? 9. I can spend RPS. But if I lose, that's only if I win. If you lose RPS, you must flip this cover to win that round instead. That would give me 2 more damage. And then I can save it and maybe one-shot him straight up. That might be the play. Yeah, let's see what we can do. So let's do besmirch dose. All right. So 6 damage, roll 3 dice. Okay, so I do add a pew. On that, I gain an automatopoeia. All right, and that's it. So we got 6, 7, 8 defendable damage. I will spend my rock, paper, scissors. So this would, if I win, this would add 3 so far. I'm gonna go with rock, okay? So let's shuffle these cards up. I have no idea what the order is, and we're gonna flip the top card here. Rock, and we got rock, so that is a tie. All right, so let's go scissors. Let's go scissors on this one, all right? So we are mixing everything up, and now I'm just gonna take a random. I'm gonna take the middle one. All right, let's see what we get. I did scissors, rock, and I lose, okay? So I'm gonna flip this over to confirm that I win, all right, to deal 2 more damage, so that's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so 10 defendable damage is coming out. He's gonna block 3. 7 is going to be remaining, which is going to knock him out, giving me 2 momentum. Oh, and actually I forgot about War Machine as well. I gotta add that. So 6, so I would exhaust him. I have to exhaust him on a 6, and I would deal an additional 3. So it ends up working out either way. And technically I didn't have to spend my rock, paper, scissors, but we'll do that for the content. All right, so he is knocked out regardless. I gain 2 momentum. That is going to be the end of my offensive roll phase. All right, so I got 5. Let's go. Ooh. Let's see. Let's spend 1 CP to gain rock, paper, scissors back. So this brings me to 4. We'll gain a rock, paper, scissors back. And then let's go with that. So we'll go to the henchman phase here. Actually, wait. Before the henchman phase, I got 2 momentum. Do I want to grab anybody? Spend 1 to gain 2 CP. Exhaust him. I also need to draw a card actually for him. Try again. All right, choose roll dice. I'm just gonna sell that for 1 CP, bringing me up to 5, and let's roll some dice. Let's keep my momentum for now. Okay, these dudes are gonna activate. Okay, and shock troops would have activated, so I actually lucked out. So rocket mercs right here. So defense, I'm just gonna keep my defense because I'm gaining 2 health. Let's see what we got in return. So we would gain automatopoeia, but I have everything, so I'm taking 5 damage, bringing me down to 33, actually be 8 damage, 6. I'm taking 6 actual damage, so they would do 7, plus 1 because of the focus fire. I heal for 2, so 6 damage is coming my way. Alrighty, we would go to the crisis clock phase. So I would lose 1 CP, bringing me down to 4. And that's going to be the conclusion of my turn. So now I can pop up next to this guy over here to gain 1 CP. All right, let's gain 1 CP, bringing me up to 5. We'd go into my roll phase, or my main phase, go to 6. Let's draw a card. The Sound of an Eclair. All right, roll 1 on a 6, gain 2 donuts. And 2 automatopoeia on the outcome, draw 1 card. Let's go ahead and do that right there because that is free. All right, we get a 3. On any other outcome, draw 1 card. All right, Vegas, baby. I love to see that. We're gonna go ahead and play that. Roll 1 dice, gain half the value as CP, so gain 2 more CP, bringing me up to 8. All right, I love to see it. I love to see it. I think what we're gonna do now is spend 2 for knife fight dose, okay? Knife fight dose, 2 CP, bringing me down to 6. And where'd my other die go? Oh, it's over here. And let's roll some dice, trying to take out our henchman over here. So, ooh. I almost want to try and one-shot him with this stabby. And because flight will activate. So what is flight again? Players may choose to spend these tokens at any time during the roll phase. Once spent, roll 2 dice. If 6 was rolled, activate the token. When activated during the offensive roll phase, the player's attack becomes undefendable. If activated during their defensive roll phase, ignore all incoming damage. So technically he would have activated this guy. So I messed up. Gonna fix this. This guy would have attacked during his offensive roll phase. So players may choose to spend this token during their roll phase. Once spent, roll 2 dice. So let me correct this very quickly. So this guy would have rolled 2 dice. Okay. If a 6 was rolled, activate the token. During offensive, the attacker's effect becomes undefendable. Okay, so this would get spent, and I don't think that would change anything because I would just take 8 undefendable damage. I would still heal for 2, and I didn't gain anything off that. He took no damage off that. I didn't gain an automatopoeia, so that is correct. So for this guy, he will roll 2 dice. If he rolls a 6, will spend 1 flight if they successfully activate a defendable attack, only affecting the first attack. They will spend flight tokens necessary during the defensive roll phase to prevent a source dealing 4+ damage or to prevent lethal damage. Okay, so yeah, that's what I might try and do here is see if I can knock him out. 6/6, I need 1 more roll. Okay, got it. So I will spend both of these automatopoeia tokens to convert both the 1 and the 1 to a 4. All right, and I need to give you guys 2 automatopoeias. So here we go. We are gonna go Zibble Zabble, someone talking nonsense at hyper speed. And then we are gonna go Thwonk, when something heavy but soft hits a wall. All right, so we are activating Stabby Stabby, deal 11 undefendable damage. So this will knock him out. So again, let me confirm this. So he's gonna roll 2 dice. All right, on a 6. 6 is not rolled. It will not activate, so he will be defeated. They will spend all flight tokens necessary during their defensive roll phase to prevent a source of dealing 4+ damage or prevent lethal damage. Does it mean they'll automatically spend it? Or players may choose to spend these tokens once spent, they roll. So I read it as they spend all flight tokens necessary. So he spends the token, rolls 2 dice. He doesn't roll a 6, so it does not activate. That's how I interpret that. So basically, this dude gets knocked out. And again, if I did that wrong, I apologize. So he gets knocked out, guys. I gain 2 momentum, and I get to draw 1 card, which is transference here. All right, 1 card, which is transference. And that is going to be the end of my offensive roll phase. All right, moving into my secondary main phase here. I'm gonna recruit somebody, and I think what we're gonna do is recruit Beast for 2. So once during my main phase, I can spend 1 momentum to gain 2 CP and exhaust him to gain 2 shields and draw 1 card. So he is going to be 2 momentum. Let's see who else we got. Cable. All right, 2 momentum once per round during your main phase. Exhaust to heal for 4. Move the crisis clock forward or backward up to 2 spaces. This trigger knows effects. Ooh, that's actually really good for that next round. All right, that is the conclusion of my main phase and offensive roll phase. Let's see what we got. All right, so rocket mercs don't, but air support does go off for 3 undefendable damage. So 1, 2, and 3, bringing me down to 29. I do need to roll 1 dice for the escape track, and escape track does not go up. It only activates on a orange. All right, so back to me. This is the last guy we need to take out. Let's go ahead and move here for 2 HP. So this will bring me up to 31. All right, bringing me up to 31. And we would go into my main phase now. So 7 CP, or gain up to 7 CP. We got samesies. All right, samesies. I do love that. How many cards? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. I'm gonna keep transference because I can transfer focus fire to him. All right, let's just go ahead and roll some dice. You know what I'm saying? I need to deal 8 damage. Let's see if we can take this guy out. And we do have, what is this? We got 2, 3, 4, and 5. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we actually have our Fiesta Dose. Look at that. So gain a rock, paper, scissors, and a donut. I already got rock, paper, scissors. Deal 10 defendable damage. He's got 8. So we would knock him out right there. And we get 2 momentum. All right, so I went ahead and gained my 2 momentum. And that is going to be the conclusion of my offensive roll phase. All right, guys. Well, look, no hero may move through the exit until all mercs then move through the exit or defeat all henchmen. We have defeated all henchmen, I do believe. So we are successful with this mission run. If you fulfill the main objective, distribute 4 health and 2 momentum, then flip this board over. If no enemy has escaped, distribute an additional 6 and 3 momentum. So no enemies have escaped here. So we are going up to 10, which is 41 health. And then we are gonna gain 5 momentum, bringing us up to 9. All right, guys, let's go ahead and flip this over and get ready to take on the Klaw. All right, guys, so we're down here on the other side of our mission map here where we are going to be taking on Klaw, right? So much fuss for so little metal. And let's go ahead and jump right in with our setup. So as always, we are going to need to place our pawn somewhere near the map. And you know what? We're just going to come in through this little entrance over here, get ready to take on the Klaw. Point the crisis clock straight up. Let's go ahead and roll for our crisis clock for 3. 1, 2, and 3 here. Alrighty, we've done our boss setup, or let's look at our boss setup here. So a boss fight. Klaw is casually packing vibranium within the warehouse. He turns and sees you approach. You have so much of this. It won't hurt to let me have some. Denying me my share is what will hurt you. All right, so start with 30 health, plus 15 per hero, plus 3 per oppression token. So Klaw is gonna be 45 health here. Our main objective is to reduce Klaw to 0 health. Upon completion, you win and the intruders are foiled and Wakanda's borders are secure. Of course, we have our crisis abilities here, which we will go throughout the course of this progress, or throughout the course of this mission here. Whenever we activate a crisis clock, I will read the respective crisis ability for that. I've got my boost tiles set up here, and I do like the randomized boost layout I got so far. A lot of good stuff that can help me be successful. We don't have any additional scenarios set up, and we do not apply perks, and we are ready to jump right in, guys. So the very first thing I'm doing here is, I think it might just be advantageous to try and whop him up as much as I can. And so we are going to jump over here and grab this +3 token. So we're getting a +3 token. All right, that is going to be our movement phase. We will now go into our main phase. So 1 CP, and we're going to draw 1 card. So we get Merc with a Mouth Dose, all right? And we get that ability as well. We're actually gonna hold on to this because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm gonna spend 2 CP for transference. Transfer 1 status token from a player to another player. So a focus fire, Mr. Klaw, you get that. I need 2 CP for that one. And then I think what we're gonna do is, let me look at this. So choose an opponent. They hope to roll a 6, but may change this number if they desire. They roll 1 dice. If the die value matches their number, they heal for 3. Otherwise, they receive 3 damage. I will play this, okay? 1 CP. So he is looking for a 6, all right? I feel like this is kind of crazy. He gets a 6. Holy smokes, guys. He heals for 3. All right, 1, 2... I gotta do the odds. Okay, so he's gonna go to 48. What are the odds of that? Okay, they heal for 3. That's kind of trash on that end. Okay, you know what? I got a lot of cards in here. I think what I actually might do is sell this for 1 CP, this upgrade to get to 6, and see if I can confirm to hit him with my ultimate and see what we can do. If you spend during your ultimate ability, you automatically win RPS. This counts as an attack modifier. Okay, let's do it. Let's go ahead and jump right in to our roll phase here, and let's hit him with this ultimate because we can dang near guarantee it. So 1, 6, alrighty. See if we can do this in as little chances as possible. Nope. 3 6s. Okay, I love it. I love it. All right, so let's see what we need to spend here. So change the value of any 2 dice, change the value of any 1 dice, change the value of one of your dice. So we're gonna need to spend twice as wild. That's all we need to do for 3 CP. So 1, 2, 3, change the value of any 2 dice. So we'll change this to a 6, and we will change this to a 6, and we have our 4th wall. So gain a positive status effect from a different chosen player's leaflet, or gain a donut. So I'll gain a donut for that. If your shoot card isn't active, flip it back to its active side, which it is, and we're gonna be dealing 14 damage. I will spend my rock, paper, scissors. We automatically win this if this is spent during your ultimate ability. So it's gonna be an additional 3. I'm gonna spend this to add it on top of that for another 3, which is going to be 6. But actually, wait, I don't think you can modify ultimates. If I'm mistaken, I thought I read that somewhere where your ultimate cannot be modified. I'm just gonna go with that because I don't want to spend a lot of time locking you guys up. So we'll just go with that. If it can be modified, then whoopsie. But I'm pretty sure I read somewhere that ultimates cannot be modified. And actually, I don't even think I'd be able to spend RPS. Well, I would be able to spend RPS on an ultimate because it would allow me to. But we're just gonna do that. So an additional 3. So we're dealing 17, 18 damage. Okay, so 10 is gonna bring him down to 30, 8 is gonna, or 38, and then 8 is going to bring him down to 30. So we hit him with a big shot right there. All right, we're gonna go into our secondary main phase. I will spend both my donuts here, so I will roll 2 dice and add half the value as health. So this is gonna give me, ooh, that was a 4. This is gonna give me 2. This is gonna give me 1, so 3 health, bringing me up to 44. Alrighty. Then I'm gonna spend 1 momentum, okay, to activate Beast. So once per round during your main phase, spend 1 momentum to gain 2 CP, bringing me up to 5, and I'll put him in view there, and then I will exhaust him to gain 2 shields. Okay, 2 shields, and draw 1 card. So Chimichanga, if this is the only card in your hand, play it to gain any status effect on your leaflet. That is hilarious, which we're gonna be pretty close. All right, so Beast has been exhausted. Let's see, who do I wanna recruit? Let's go undefendable. Man, he's got a lot of defendable when you activate a defensive ability. So really, he's useless. Cable might be the best one. So let's spend 2 momentum, 1, 2, and let's bring in Cable right here. So once per round, I can exhaust him to heal 4 and then move the crisis clock, whatever I would like. Hawkeye is our next person. So once per round during your roll phase, spend 2 to inflict focus fire on chosen opponent, exhaust him to inflict targeted on that same opponent. So I'm good with my main phase right now. Let's roll some dice. So 6 and a 1, okay? So 1 is going under me, and remember guys, even a crit underneath me I will not gain 1. 6 is gonna go there, okay? And then let's see what he's got. So he actually has his first ability here, Klaxon Bomb, all right? So range, inflict knockdown, 5 undefendable damage. So I am getting hit with knockdown and 5 undefendable damage. So 4 brings me to 40, 5 brings me to 39. All right, guys, that is the end of his phase there. We will go to the crisis clock. Shockwave, inflict disruption and deal 1 collateral damage to all heroes. So 38 and disruption. Ooh, I gotta figure out what disruption is because I have no clue. Disruption. During the upkeep phase, a player for this token may choose to lose 1 CP. If they do not, they receive 2 damage instead. Then remove this token. Wow, that is brutal. Okay, So that is the conclusion of his phase. We will now go to my movement phase. And you know what? Let's continue to gain some more momentum. Let's start feeding off these heroes, start utilizing them as much as I possibly can. Okay, so let's see my upkeep phase. So disruption would occur, so I can either lose, what was that, 2 CP, or lose 1 CP, or take 2 damage. You know what? I'll take 2 damage, going down to 36, because I do love me some CP. This token would get removed, alrighty. And then we would go into my upkeep phase. So we get 1 CP, draw 1 card. Buffet, I would gain 2 donuts, all right. I like that, I like that. So now what I can do is once per turn during my main phase, exhaust Cable, heal for 4, and then move the crisis clock in any direction. So this is going to bring me up to 40 on my health, and I can move it forward or backwards. So 1, 2, what is this? Gain bonus damage, remove 1 negative status effect. Okay, I don't want to do that. Inflict concussion and deal 1. Wait, that'd be, yeah, I like that. I like that. So we go 1, 2, we'll move it 2 forward. All right, this does not trigger any effects. And then what we're gonna do is spend 2 momentum, 1, 2, and pick up Hawkeye, all right? Spend 2 to inflict focus fire, exhaust him to inflict targeted on a chosen opponent. Who do we get? Emma Frost. So 2 momentum, 5 of the same symbol, range, shield, blind, 4 undefendable, exhaust her to add 4 damage. She is a promo card as well. Okay. We do have Knockdown. I believe Knockdown is to remove this token, player must spend 2 CP before the start of their offensive roll phase. So I'll spend 2 CP, dropping me down to 4, getting rid of Knockdown. Okay, let's go ahead and roll some dice. Let's see what you got for me, Mr. Klaw. Whoa, I got 2 6s already. Can I go back to back on the ultimates here? Let me see. Change the value of any 1 dice. Change the value of 1 of your dice to be identical. So if I can get one more 6, we can go back to back. Holy smokes. We are gonna do it. Okay, wow. All right, so I just need to do samesies then. 1 CP right here is going to change the value of 1 of my dice to a 6. Holy smokes, back to back. So gain a positive status effect or a donut. I will go ahead and gain a donut. My card is on its front side already, and we are dealing 14 damage. All right, so 10 is gonna bring him down to 20. Another 4 is gonna bring him down to 16. All right, so he is going down to 16. He does not activate his defense. Roll my roll phase. I actually wanna do this. So spend 2 momentum for Hawkeye, inflict him with that, and then exhaust him to inflict him with targeted. So I'm gonna be dealing more damage as well. Okay, so Hawkeye becomes exhausted. A lot of stuff to keep up with when you're trying to do things solo. Okay, so I would have attacked. I get 2 focus fires, so that's 1 and 1. So 2 more damage is coming to him. All right, that's gonna be 14 there. And then targeted is an additional 2, as well. All right, so he's going down to 12. All right, that is the conclusion of all these. Actually stay on. I think they're all persistent if I'm not mistaken. Yep, they are persistent. So he's beat up. He is beat up right now. Let's go to him in my phase here. And we get a 2, oop, that's a 4. So 2 and a 4. So 2 right here, 4, that's not 4, that's 1, 2, 3. Does he not have a 4? 1, 2, 3, oh, 4, duh, right there, powers. Okay, let's see what he's got. So we got triple that, Sonic Blast, okay? So this is a ranged attack, deal 3 undefendable damage. So we're going down to 37, and that's the end of his. We go to the crisis clock phase. So he's going to inflict concussion on me. All right, inflict concussion and deal 1 collateral damage, bringing me down to 36. All right, we will go up top to the movement phase. I'm gonna go here, gain 1 momentum, bringing me up to 5. All right, we'll go to my upkeep phase, and I believe concussion. A player with this token must skip their income phase, then remove this token. So no income for me. Going straight into my main phase. And let's see here. I'm gonna sell this for 1 CP. All right, and I think that's all I'm gonna do. And we're gonna roll some dice. All right, let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. Okay. All righty, so 12. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I can find a way to deal 8 damage, 8 defendable damage, well, actually, I need to deal 13. Is there any scenario where I can deal 13? Let's keep a 4 and let's roll maybe stabby. Let's see. Oh, look at that. Holy smokes, guys. Look at that right there. 4 skis across the board. All right, I will spend the +3 on that because I can do that. So that is going to be 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 undefendable damage on Mr. Klaw, which is going to bust him all the way down to 0. All right, 0. And that would be the conclusion of my offensive roll phase, which is going to end it. So we have reduced Klaw down to 0 health. We have won. We are victorious. The intruders are foiled and Wakanda's borders are secured. All right, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed another video in our Marvel Dice Throne Missions campaign series. I know I was a little rusty with one. I've been out of town for the last couple days and I realized I made a few mistakes, but I believe I corrected and caught all the mistakes I did make. If you see any other mistakes that I did not catch, please go ahead and drop them down in the comments below, guys. Also, comment on what you thought, how you thought Deadpool was, if you guys have not had the chance to play him as well. If you enjoyed this content, smash that like button, hit that notification bell. And as always, guys, if you are not subscribed to our channel, please go ahead and subscribe so we can keep bringing you some more awesome content. All right, guys, have a great one. Bye.